and welcome back to Mads World. I'm your host Mads, and I hope you've been enjoying the show so far. If you have, please remember to subscribe, rate and review the podcast on Spotify or Apple or your favourite listening platform, and follow the show on Instagram and TikTok. It's at madsworld.mp3 on Insta and at Madsworld Podcast on TikTok. This is the final installment of these What I'd Tell My Younger Self episodes, and I'm thrilled to be joined by Jess Doolan, winner of Prime Video's Lovestruck High. Jess also hosts a podcast of her own, Two Broke Slags, making her the perfect guest for Mads World. I bloody love a dating show, so if you haven't yet checked out Lovestruck High on Prime Video, go use your 30 days free trial to check it out if you don't have Prime Video already. The show is super unique with a really diverse cast from all different backgrounds and sexualities. It's super cool, so yeah, definitely recommend. Up next, you'll hear me and Jess share a couple of dating horror stories, some of my favourite ever, our advice to our younger selves on not rushing through sex, embracing all the loves of our lives, and letting go of dead friendships. Hello, Jess.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you?
You know what? I'm really good. I'm like at the arse end of getting over a cold. So if I sound a bit husky, that's why.
Oh my God. Everyone has a cold at the moment. I have the worst cold ever, but I've smashed a little coffee. I've smashed a little antihistamine, and here we are.
I know. And also it's like, is it COVID? Is it not? Is COVID even acceptable to have anymore? Like, what do you do if you have it?
I don't even know, but I have invited you on the podcast for the final installment of our What I'd Tell My Younger Self episodes. And my first question for you is, what made you apply for Lovestruck High in the beginning?
If I'm completely honest with you, what it was, I got an email off Studio Lambert. Mm-hmm. And they were like, we've got this new reality dating TV series, like if you'd like to apply, like kind of like follow this link. And I was actually on the train from London to Manchester, and I had 2 hours to kill. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I sat on the train, and like one of the things was like, you had to do a video talking about like X, Y and Z. And they called me up and they were like, Jess, we're literally obsessed that you're like just talking explicitly about your sex life on a busy train. And I was like, yeah, that's just very on brand for me.
You know what? I actually did this on the bus the other day. I was on a super long bus to my mate's house, and I saw an ad on Instagram about like applying for a new dating show. So I just did it, and then they've emailed me and they've put me through the next round. So stay tuned, guys.
Oh my God, are you coming for my brand?
Literally, we're just gonna be backstage at Glastonbury together, VIPs,
yeah, tearing up Glastonbury, seeing the talent and that.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, no, that's so good. And how's it all going? Like, are you enjoying, like, obviously you won the show, which is amazing. Like, yeah. What's kind of happening at the moment for you? Like, what's next for you?
To be honest, so I've literally just made the bridge from working full time to going freelance. So that's what the show has allowed me to do, you know, because obviously there's a lot of traffic through my Instagram at the minute. A lot of people wanting to work with me on like collabs and brand deals, which is obviously fabulous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just like working on my social media presence. If you don't follow me, at Jess Doolan, little plug there. I also have a podcast, so a lot of the money that I won, I've actually funneled back into my own businesses.
Amazing.
And first time I'm ever saying this, but I'm actually starting my own clothing brand.
No way.
Yeah.
What's it like?
So I've literally just been working on that like religiously, like trying to get the first hero products out, like all the behind the scenes. Like people don't realise how much time, effort, money, concentration it takes to start your own business.
Yeah, for sure. It's like 100% of your time, isn't it?
Yeah, lit. So I've literally been on my laptop like more since quitting working than I have when I was at work.
God, yeah. But I mean, it's all stuff that sounds so exciting as well. So that's sick.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like stuck, you know when you feel like you're stuck in life and you're like, I can't see a way out. And I was like,
yeah, I
just need to do something for me and like to progress my career, hopefully. If it all goes tits up, then at least I can say I tried, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. That's so exciting. My next question for this round, we've got a bit of a speed date round up front, which are just some random fun questions for everyone to get to know you. So I want to know your favourite pop culture moment of 2022.
I just love like very British humour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like iconic Huns.
Yeah, like absolutely daft stuff. Okay, not this. Can I do one from another year?
You can, yeah.
Sorry, I'm bending the rules already. We're only on the first question. Okay, one of my favourite, most iconic British pop culture moments. Remember X Factor, yeah? But when it was good back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in my house, whenever we're hungover, we like watch bad X Factor auditions. And we just sit there and like freeze and like have like 10 KFCs and just watch them all. But like that whole era of like TV, like X Factor and all the talent shows, there was like this duo on it called Ab Lisa. I don't know if you remember them. So anyway, they were like a duo. They were like sisters. They went on TV to like sing, and they ended up like having an argument on stage, and one of them like punched the other one. And it was like honestly iconic. And like me and my best friend Lizzie, yeah, we like align with them so much because we like always fight and argue, but we're like actual sisters. And we're actually having like a British Icons barbecue soon, and I need to find some inspo with what to wear.
You need to go as those two, I think.
Well, yeah, that's what we were thinking, but we were like, we don't know if it's too niche.
I mean, niche is funny, though. That's what goes viral, isn't it? When you see people dressed as, like, the most fucking niche meme of all time.
Yeah, literally. I'm such, like, a jumper on stuff like that as well. Like, as soon as I have a phrase in my mind, I say it, like, at least 20 times a day.
Oh, my God. Well, that was going to be my answer for this question, is the Liam Payne interview about if you don't remove those hands, you'll never use those hands again. I've been saying that in my head over and over for like the last 2 weeks. And do you know Max Belegday, the TikToker?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God. He has just been like rinsing that joke for so long.
I'm not being funny yet, but who gave Liam Payne the right to be interviewed? Because every time I've seen him be interviewed, it's a fucking car crash.
Honestly, his PR company must be just having an absolute nightmare. But maybe I'm like, maybe he thinks he's tough, and I feel like he wouldn't even know that people are making fun of him.
Yeah, I think he's so far removed now from like normal life that he thinks he's like extra or whatever. I saw this one of him, and he was like going on like, like One Direction was actually like based off just me. He was like, I was like the founding father of One Direction. It was like, obviously Harry Styles was the main one, you idiot.
Honestly, I saw this meme and it was like, you know, he was like, Harry Styles is on the main stage and Liam Payne, I saw him backstage with his top off high trying to fight people. And I was like, literally.
That is the energy for 2022, honestly.
Oh, God, so good. My next question is, do you have any old person habits?
You know what? I am a bit of a granny at heart. Like, I feel like I give it the big one on Instagram, yeah. Like, I'm a party girl, don't get me wrong. I love a bev and a ciggy and a night at the pub. But you best believe I'm going to be home by 12:30 with my jammies on. Like, the other night, I was at the pub, I just got up and left and got a doner kebab and, like, watched Love Island.
Oh, my God, obsessed.
And just pieced out.
What do you think of Love Island this year?
I mean, I'm a Love Island stan, I can't lie. I'm such a sucker for reality TV. I mean, I was literally in a reality TV show. So that says it all. But yeah, you know what? I'm quite enjoying it. I think it takes a while to warm up because you got to know the people in it. And like, when you don't know them, you're trying to like navigate conversations and like what they're like as people, but it's hard. But so far, so good. Not the best series I've ever seen in my whole entire life, but it's an easy watch at 9 p.m. and it gives my life a bit of purpose again.
Honestly, and it gives you a reason to get home at 9 p.m. Like, if you go for an after-work drink, it could turn into an all-nighter, or you could just be like, I'm just going to go home and watch Love Island at 9, you know?
That was literally me yesterday. Met my friends in Shoreditch, had literally 2 pints, came home, made a salad and watched Love Island. And away I went.
It gives you structure to your day.
It really does, especially when you like working that freelance life. Like, the gym and Love Island is all the structure that I have in my life currently.
God, I really need to take a leaf out of your book. Love Island's my only fucking structure. I've got no gym. I need to start hitting the gym.
Honestly, I don't even really like it that much. It's just something to do.
Yeah, I mean, when you're freelancing, you've just got to fill up your day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, might tuck myself out for lunch today. Might go for a little shop. Like, honestly, London is my oyster.
Yes, so good. My second last question is, what is your favourite type of date to go on?
My perfect date is like a mix between like booze and culture.
Okay.
For example, let's set the scene, yeah. I meet this 10-10 off Hinge.
Yeah.
We go to like an art gallery, but like one that's like thought out. So there was like this Gucci exhibition, menswear exhibition on at the V&A for a few months, something like that, like very fashion orientated, not like let's go down the Natural History Museum and see something that's been there for 10 years. Something that's well thought out, and then like go for like a few pints, maybe end up in a bar. I want to be in Peckham, the Club Tola, by about 1 a.m. I want to leave by about 3 a.m, get a kebab, come home, have beautiful sex, and then yeah, it's done.
That sounds like my favourite date of all time.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to do that with me, hit up my DMs.
At Jess Doolan.
Jess Doolan, don't forget it.
You know, that sounds so good. I think mine would be similar, or like, I do like an activity date. I know some people find them as a bit of an ick, but I reckon like, I like a little, especially if the guy's nervous or like awkward or something, it gives them something to focus on. But if they're too competitive, it can be a bit weird because sometimes they get a bit like butthurt if you beat them at mini golf or bowling. They're like,
yeah, I feel like I'd like an activity date for like maybe like a second or third, you know, when you get to know someone like a little bit better.
Yeah.
But to be honest, 9 out of 10 dates that I go on, first dates, is just at the pub. Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
It's the best date for a reason.
No, literally, but I always go to like the same pubs. It's either like White Horse in Peckham or Ski Hands in Brooklyn. And I bet the people behind the bar are like, oh, look, she's with like another long-haired skater boy.
She's back.
She's back.
She's living her best life.
Lit.
And my final question for this round, and this is the best question, is what is your funniest date story of all time?
Okay. If anyone's listening that listens to my podcast, they'll be like, Jess, I can't believe you're telling this story again. But it is such a classic Jess Doolan story.
Okay.
So it's like a funny one. Bless the guy, because I tell this to everyone and anyone who will listen. Basically, I went on this date, and it was like when there was still restrictions, but you could like meet up with people. So it was like more lax, but a lot of places weren't open. So we decided to go like on a little park date. It was like last year, so it was like pretty warm. It was around like summertime. Just went to this park in like southeast London. He was like only here for the day because he was house hunting. He actually lived in Bristol, so he like didn't have a place in London yet. And at the time, I was like living in a flat that was like off spare room, and all my housemates were like working from home, and there's always people in and stuff. Anyway, we go on this date. I remember we bought like a bottle of gin, like a full litre bottle of gin, which should have been a little sign of what was to come, but obviously I was like, yeah, vibes.
Yeah.
So we're drinking this gin, like he was like a crease, really liked him, and it got to like 7, 8, and like the sun was like starting to go down, it's getting a bit cold, and we were like, oh, we really like want to carry on this date, but he didn't have a place, and I didn't really want to take him to mine. I'm a very impersonal dater. I hate people coming to mine. I'm like, get the fuck out my bed, you weirdo.
Literally, and I'm like, guys are so dirty, like they're so sweaty and smelly. I'm like, I don't want to have to change my sheets. I just changed them.
Yeah, it is. Fuck that. So anyway, I was like, I'm just going to suggest this. I was like, why don't we just like get a hotel?
Love that.
And then I went for a piss in the bush because we were in the park still. And then I came back and he was like, oh, like I've got points for this hotel. Like it's like a half an hour walk away. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, vibes. I was like, on the way, we're like, we'll stop off at the shop, like get something to eat, blah, blah, blah. And get some booze. So anyway, we got another bottle of gin. I got some sweet chili sensations, you know, because that's just really a nice tea to have when you've been drinking gin all day.
Amazing.
Anyway, we're in this hotel, we're vibing. I mean, it's a bit patchy because I was like quite pissed by this point.
Yeah.
But then I remember at 5 a.m, he like got up and went to the toilet, and he was like, Jess, I think I'm going to be sick. And I was like, oh, okay, well, like, just go be sick and then come back in bed. Like, I was like, it's fine. Like, we've been drinking a lot. It's not deep.
Yeah.
My man goes to the bathroom and starts throwing up. And I'm just like in bed listening to it. And I'm like, fuck my life. Anyway, I thought he'd stop. No, he did not stop.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding when I say I did not see him from 5 a.m. to when I left.
Oh my God. What, you just had to walk out and not say bye?
No, so like it got to like, it was like 9:30 and they were coming around with breakfast. So I was like eating breakfast, yeah, like watching daytime TV, just like lady of leisure. My man's still throwing up in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Got to like 10 and I had a work call at 10:30, so I like literally had to leave.
Yeah.
So I knocked on and I was like, oh, like, are you okay? And he was like, open the door. So I opened the door and he's stark bollock naked, yeah, on the floor in fetal position with a towel over him. And I was like, if that doesn't give me the ick, I don't know what will.
Oh my God. He's like a man-child, like a baby that's just been born.
I was like, I'm not kidding, this guy's like 6'4", yeah. I'm like 5'5", and I'm like slim, and I handled it better than him.
Oh
and I was
my
like,
God.
Come on.
He's like needs his mum or something.
Yeah, he looked so sorry for himself, and he tried to text me after, and I was like, no, go away.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't think I've heard of a bigger ick than the guy I'm out with being naked on the floor, being sick,
Yeah.
crying.
I was like, that's a Jess Doolan effect for you, babes.
Oh my God, I love that. Do you know what? Lockdown was a weird time for us all. Maybe it was just really getting to him.
Yeah, well, also, he probably hadn't been out in ages and stuff, but I was just like, nah,
no,
not a bit of me.
I had one the other day, and this isn't actually my date story. This is like the guy I was out with date story, but it's he told me one, like basically the same thing about lockdown. He asked a girl to come over, and she thought that he meant to live.
What?
And like she came to the door with a suitcase, and he was like, why do you have a suitcase? And she's like, I thought, you meant like stay for like a week or like till the indefinite future. And he was like, okay. And like they'd only seen each other twice before.
Yeah.
And then she just like, he's like, within an hour, I had the ick so bad. Like she was just so annoying. He's like, I literally hated her so much. My housemate hated her, and she bloody moved in. And then he said that she would do things like eat fizzy laces for breakfast, and he was getting the ick so bad that the next night he hated her so much that she tried to have sex with him, and he pretended to have chlamydia so that she wouldn't try. He's like to her, oh, there's something wrong with my dick. It's like really like swollen and like bleeding.
He's like, it's falling off.
It's fallen off, like... I don't know what's wrong with it. We can't have sex. It's like, I literally hated her so much that I pretended to have an STD. I was like, do you know what? I don't think anyone in the history of the world has ever pretended to have chlamydia when they didn't.
Literally. But also they do say like, you don't know someone until you live with them. Do you know what I mean? Because that's when you see like all of their weird ass habits. So she probably just unleashed them all.
Yeah, and apparently she was like eating Chinese in his room and leaving the Chinese there for days. And like, yeah, I'm like, why would you also assume that you've been asked to move in after 2 days?
Honestly, like, no offense, someone needs to ask this girl if she's okay, because that is not on.
Yeah, like, are you homeless? Like, go home.
Also, like, why would you want to live with someone that you met twice? I couldn't think of anything worse.
Oh, I don't know. It's just, it's insane, but... yeah, love that story from him.
That's a good story. Very good story.
Very good, I know. But he was telling me on a first date, and I was like, I don't want to hear about some girl that you
you're
met.
like, what's this bitch's Instagram? Let me find her.
Yeah, who is she?
Who is she?
Who is she? Who is she? Oh, God. Well, thank you for undertaking the speed date round. Some people find it quite intimidating, but you did really well.
Oh, thank you, girl.
For this section, I spoke with the lovely Alex and the lovely Sin for my last 2 eps about the advice you would give to your younger self. Having been on Lovestruck High, gone back to high school and sort of relived it, I'd just love to know, first up, what advice would you give your younger self in regards to sex? Okay.
I think for me, like this, if I could talk to my younger self, there would be a lot, I would say. I think when I was younger... when I was starting to like get sexual with people, I often accredited like, if I had sex with you, you would like me. Or like I used my sexuality as a way to like gain people. Whereas now I'm older, I realise like you can very much have sex and just have like no romantic or like emotional connection to someone. And I think because I thought that if I like fancied a guy or a girl, I would like try and get closer to them through sex, and off like that would internally hurt me because I'd always be thinking, well, why don't they like me if I've had sex with them?
And it's interesting that as well, like when you have sex with a guy, sometimes they get like, have you heard of post-nut clarity?
Yeah.
Sometimes it can push them away. Like, and I think when we're young, we don't realize those things and those weird, like, it's like in their brain or something that they get this thing where they get the ick from you. And it's something that because as women, we see sex as like being close and like tied to feelings and love and stuff when we're younger, because that's what we're told.
Yeah, exactly.
But then for men, it could be the opposite.
Yeah. So I think I would definitely tell myself to not get into situations like that and not think sex is something that is going to spark something. You know, it shouldn't be you have sex and then something comes from it. Like it should lead up to sex in a lot of situations. And also just to like chill out, you know, like you don't need to do everything so quick. I think because I had sex from a really young age and then I was in like a long-term relationship and that just set off my sexual journey like super quick. But I'd just love to be like, Jess, like, chill. You don't need to do it all in a day. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Just work yourself up for it, babe.
I think I'm similar in that I just wanted to get it done to like just like tick it off the list, be cool, be one of the like more mature girls and stuff. And like my experience, my first experience with sex was so bad. Like the guy's mum walked in and saw it. Was
my God, stop it. That's so embarrassing.
It was horrific. And now I've got like this complex. I'm like, is someone outside the door? Like, are they going to come in? Like paranoid. But yeah, I think I just wanted to smash it out in one day because I was like, right, I'm terrified of this, but let's just get it done so that it's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same. I wish I'd like waited and like built up to it. And then you can like learn stuff as well and like learn properly what you're doing and not freak yourself out.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like for me, like I didn't realize that like sex and like even like pleasure can be for women because I was brought up like in a really strict Catholic grammar school. Like female pleasure and female orgasms was something that was never ever discussed, not even amongst peers, because it was like a taboo subject. Yeah. So like when I was having sex with people, like I would never like come or orgasm or like thoroughly enjoy it. Honestly, I was having sex for about 5-6 years before I like came with a partner. Yeah. So like if I could like go back, I would definitely be like, this isn't like a one-sided race. This is for two people, and sex shouldn't end when the guy comes. Like, it's just as important that you have an orgasm as well as him.
100%. And I think that links back to what you were saying about like what you got out of sex. And that's probably that you thought it was, you know, bringing you closer to someone. And you're sort of like, I have to do this to be close to this person or to get them to like me or whatever. Because in that sense, it's like, it's just something you have to do like a chore. You're like, right, we have to do this so that this will happen. Whereas it's like, it should just be an enjoyable experience for both of you.
Yeah, exactly. And like, obviously the sex you have when you're younger isn't like probably going to be amazing or like sparks flying. But I think just having respect of yourself and your sexual needs is like really fucking important. And I feel like it's really hard to grasp that when you're younger.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying with like just the waiting thing. Like just know yourself before you like try and know someone else.
Oh, that is a good little quote.
I might TM that. Put it on a t-shirt.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Put it on a
Sounds
t-shirt.
Like the Dalai Lama said it. No, that's such good advice. And what advice would you give your younger self in regards to love?
You know what? I would say that love comes in many different forms, and don't always look for love in a romantic partner.
Oh, that is such a good one.
I am a firm believer in soulmates, but like, you know, like people always say like the love of your life. Like for me personally, I don't agree with that notion. I believe that you have multiple loves of your lives and they come in your life for different reasons. You know, you could fall in love 3 times and each person could like serve a purpose. But on the back of that, like with soulmates, I do think a lot of the time they are platonic. And I feel like, you know, we're taught, especially as girls, that you need to find a partner and you need to fall in love with him and get married and blah, 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 and this and that. And it's male, female, and it's so traditional. And I just completely do not agree with that. Like, for example, my best friend Lizzie, she is my soulmate, 100 million trillion %. Like, but the relationship is purely platonic. But I get so much more fulfillment out of that relationship than I have any other partner, romantic or not. So I think, yeah, don't look for romantic love all the time. Like, work on yourself, work on your friendships, work on your relationships with your family, because that's where, like, love comes. And I always say to people all the time, like, you know, partners come and go, but your friends and your family are going to be there for life. So you should put more effort into them than you should someone that you, no offense, but you're probably going to break up with.
Yeah, that's brilliant advice. And I think it's easy to neglect your family and friends and nurturing those relationships when you think you've got all of this love in one person. And then as soon as the rug gets pulled out from under you and they break up with you, or something happens, or they move away, then you kind of have to, you go back to your family and friends with your tail between your legs, and you're like, sorry, I know I've been a shit friend or whatever. And they always will take you back. Like, if a friend does that to me, obviously you're going to be there for them.
Yeah, of course.
But like, you just, you need to remember that how much you can get out of those relationships so that you make the most of them.
Yeah, and like, everyone does it, you know what I mean? Especially when you're in that infatuation part, like with your partner, it's so hard to like not spend every second of your life with them.
Yeah.
But I think it's just remembering that, like, there are other people out there. And I feel like with me, I always like lose myself a little bit when I'm with a partner, because I can be quite codependent. But then when I'm on my own, I'm like the most independent person. So it's like a paradox.
Yeah. I'm so the same. Like, I've
It's
never
weird,
even really
isn't
thought
it?
about it. Yeah, because I'm single at the moment, and like I honestly love it. Like, I'm so independent. I just am so self-sufficient. I can eat what I want, go out when I want, get drunk when I want. Like, it's all on my terms.
Yeah.
But then as soon as someone else is introduced in the picture, I bend myself backwards for what they want. And like,
I am the exact same.
Yeah, my ex lived in Leeds, and like, he didn't visit me in London once.
Yeah.
And I would go to Leeds every time just because it's what he wanted. He'd be like, let's go on a hike. I'd be like, okay. I fucking hate hikes. I fucking hate them. I hate them so much. Like, I don't want to huff and puff and just be like fucking exercising. Ew.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
why do I do that? Like, yeah, that is so true. It's weird that you said that, because I'm like, that is just
you know
me.
what I think it is. I feel like me and you are very similar people. Like, we just like fully put ourselves into every situation that we're thrown in.
Yeah.
And then I think that probably is true within relationships as well. Like, I know, like, people that I date, I give it my all, you know what I mean? Like, try and always be my best self, be there for them, etc. And you put so much into them that you have such a little space for yourself that you like lose yourself. So I think definitely with the next person I date, I'm gonna like try and remain Jess Doolan as well as their partner, you know?
Yeah, and give yourself time to do like, because you know what? Having a night when none of your housemates are in, you get the TV to yourself, you get a little takeaway, you watch your shows. It's like, that is self-care to
There
me.
is nothing better. There is literally nothing better. You know what? I've really been practicing the art of like being on my own recently.
Yeah.
So I went through a bit of a sticky time and I'm out the other end.
Love that.
And like, I'm not kidding. My favourite part of the day is coming home, having like a beer, being in my room by myself, putting my fairy lights on and just chilling the fuck out.
So good. Honestly, it's so fucking relaxing to just chill out or like read a little book, or like I even like buy a Cosmopolitan, like a magazine, and I'm like reading my magazine.
I'm such a Cosmo girl.
Same. And I'm like sitting on my bed flipping through my magazine. I'm like, I'm just like a 90s girl right now.
Yeah, I'm just like so Sarah Jessica Parker right now.
Oh, it's like if someone was filming this, it would be a movie.
Yeah, like that's me recently. I'm like, my life is a movie and I'm the main character.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah, for sure. If you're not the main character of your own life, like, you're doing something seriously wrong. But like, this is also like relates back to what we were saying. Like, sometimes when you're with a partner, like, they're the main character. Like, no, B, reclaim your title.
Yes, like it should be you.
100%.
And in speaking about friendships, what advice would you give your younger self in regards to friendships?
You know what I would say? Like, don't hold on to friendships that are dead.
Yeah.
So, for example, for me growing up, I had my school friends, and then I had my college friends, and then I made friends at uni. So I'm someone that like fluctuates between friendship groups quite a lot.
Yeah.
And like, I think like that's kind of seen as like a negative thing sometimes. Everyone's like, oh, I've known this person since I was like came out the womb. Whereas like for me, like I've genuinely changed so much year on year on year on year that the friendships I had in school like now would not fulfill me because I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
So I would say like, don't be afraid to lose friends, but then recognize the ones that you have and that, you know, you have a really deep connection with and like hold on to them. But I feel like growing up, I had so many friends that like now I have like the closest people in the world to me and like, I can sit there in silence and it's completely fine. But, you know, them friendships that like if you were alone together on a bus for 4 hours, it would be a little bit awkward.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just like you're just friends because of the history that you have, not because you actually have anything in common.
Like so many people say about the mates, like, oh, if I met you now, I wouldn't like you. Well, why are you mates with them now then? You know what I mean? There's plenty of people out there.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, that's so true, I think. And especially in somewhere like London, there's just 9 million other people. Go and meet someone else.
Exactly. And I just feel like if a relationship, friends, or anything doesn't fulfill me 100%, then I'm sorry, but I'm just going to unsubscribe from it because life is too damn short.
Unsubscribe from this friendship.
Literally, like, delete this friendship out of my life. Like, for example, like, if my friends didn't support me or, like, my friends are, like, champions of everything I do. Like, when the show came out, like, when the episodes dropped, like, we had, like, a little party and, like, had, like, 20 of my mates around and they were, like, so excited.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if a friend wasn't that supportive of everything I did and vice versa with them, like, I go above and beyond for my mates.
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry, but, like, it's just not a rich friendship and it's just one I can't be arsed with.
Yes, no, this is such good advice. And we only have so much time on Earth, so why would you spend it with people that don't give a fuck?
Exactly. Like, it's just, don't do it. I'd never do anything by halves, and I'm not going to do a friendship by half either. If you're my friend, I want to know that it, like, every single aspect of your life, and I want to know that you will be there for me no matter what.
Love that so much. Wow, well, this is time, and I've had such a great time having you on the pod. Thank you so much for joining.
My absolute pleasure. It's been a blast.
It's been really great, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yes, and I'll see you at Glasgow.
Oh, stop. It's in 1 week, and I can't wait. I hope you enjoyed my chat with the lovely Jess. Please let me know on my Instagram or my TikTok if you have any stories or thoughts of your own to share. Love and elbow taps. Peace.